Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining the Saskatchewan Retirees Association Annual General Meeting for 2026. My name is Harold Hugg, and I'm president of SRA. And we're pleased to have, we had over 100 people registered to join us this morning, so that's great. And we had over 80 registered to join us online as well. And just a note for those that are online, that those who signed up early online and came on, you might have come on before you were actually configured as voters. So you may have to log out and log back in just to make sure that you're able to see the votes as we go forward this morning. I wanted to also welcome our friends from GMS. I think Belle is still on her way here, Bill Vandergill. And she's the acting CEO and Vice President, Chief Customer Officer, and Ryan McFarland, Manager, Corporate Accounts, both from GMS, our friends here this morning. We also have some representatives from GMS at the table back over there. So if people have any questions about the GMS plan or any issues around that, they're here with us today too and can certainly talk to those folks anytime during the day as well. I would first like to acknowledge, I guess I need to move these slides. Maybe. I don't think it's moving, is it? Yeah. Did it move? Yeah. All right, are we on? I can't see the slides though. All right, what slide are we on? It's not on this one though. No. All right, I want to first acknowledge that the land where this AGM originates is from Treaty 4 territory, and it's the traditional lands of the Cree, the Saulteaux, the Dakota, the Nakota, the Lakota, and the Homeland Métis Nation. We've officially reached our quorum here this morning, so I would like to call the meeting to order. The meeting is both, as I mentioned, in person and a virtual meeting this morning. So we have specific instructions for kind of everybody how we handle things today. And for those joining us from Webcast Canada, at any time, if you can ask a question by using the Ask Question box, which is on the top right corner of your screen. And for those attending here in person, if you have questions, could you please raise your hand, and we need to know your name and whatnot for the minutes. And use a microphone. We have a person over there with a microphone that'll catch up to you and give us your name and then have a question. And that's so that the people online can hear your question as well. I'd like to now introduce also Bill Thompson, who's chair of our Growth and Communications Committee, and Dean Parker, a member of our board, who will be handling the questions from the folks online today. Welcome, Bill and Dean. Motion instructions. So through the meeting this morning, there'll need to be various motions to complete the business of the SRA, and we'll be asking for a mover and a seconder from the live audience. So where do I need to point this? All right. Do you want to move that so you can see? No, that's all right. So through the meeting this morning, there will be a need to deal with various motions and to complete the business of the SRA. And we'll be asking for a mover, as I mentioned, a seconder from the floor. And we'll then launch the vote. And we'll allow a couple of seconds for those that are voting online. And once that's complete, we'll show the results of the poll online and the vote here to the results of the various motions. Here's an example, just so that we know what we're doing, and this is, do you like chocolate ice cream? I'm not going to ask for a mover and seconder on this one, but I'll vote in favor. Do you like chocolate ice cream? All right. Opposed? Oh, somebody does it. All right. And the poll results? I'm assuming they do. Hopefully things will move a little quicker than that, but okay. Slide 6. All right, the information links that are included today are the meeting agenda, which everybody had. It was left on the copy of the tables. Folks online have access to that as well. There was the 2025 annual report, which was also on the tables, and we'll be referring to that throughout the day in terms of various motions that we'll be voting on. There's the audited financial statements, which is also in the 2025 annual report, and the minutes of the last year's meeting, which were in the annual report as well. And these documents, along with the bylaws, were posted on the SRA website, and the bylaws were posted well in advance of this meeting, as in terms of our bylaws, for any changes to our bylaws. And for those joining online, links are also available on Webcast Canada for those documents as well. So the first order of business this morning is the agenda. Again, everybody had a copy of it. Was made available for those here in person. I'd like a motion to adopt the agenda, but first I guess I would ask, does anybody have any changes or additions to the agenda? Assuming none, I'm assuming there's nothing online. All right, I would like a mover from the room. Sorry, could you say your name? Jeanette Romanak, moved, seconded by? Erwin Blank, thank you. All those in favor of accepting the motion? All right, thank you. Online?
30 seconds.
All right. I'm assuming the motion is approved, but we'll wait for the vote. I wonder if there's an issue. I'm going to assume that was approved. Are we good? Are you sure you got access there, Bill?
Yeah. Believe that's in favor.
We're good.
All right. Thanks for that. This could be a long day. Could I ask for a motion to accept the 2025 AGM minutes? They were on. They were in the annual report. Edward Plum, a seconder. Linda Jade. Okay, Linda Jake. Tate. All right, thanks, Linda. Sorry. All those in favor? Anybody opposed? All right. All right, I'm going to assume that that's carried as well. Thank you, everyone. I would now like to turn the meeting over to Ken Lazinski. Ken is the former vice president and a member of the Governance and Nominating Committee. He's going to go over our bylaws, and we'll be putting them up on the screen so everybody can see them, and then after that we'll kind of vote on those changes. Ken, I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, and thank you, Harold. Just for folks, just so you know, these were actually posted on our website on May 7th, or March 7th, pardon me, so as per our bylaws requirements. So folks hopefully have had a chance to take a look at them. So moving forward, I can't see from the side here, so I'm going to have to assume that moving forward to allow, number one, to allow for honorariums. Is that posted on there? Not yet? Okay.
No, he was going to put it up.
That happening?
No, it's which computer are you using to do the slides? Over there. Yeah. So, are you putting the bylaws up?
It's just the bylaw changes, so they're not up yet?
No.
Okay, Harold, maybe you want to sing while we're waiting for the...
Yeah. I don't want to do that. I want everybody to leave early, that's for sure. Erwin, I'm going to get you to change the slides. I'm just going to wave at you when you do it.
If it works in here.
But it'll Wait till the presentation moves back on again.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah. Well, we were offering lunch, it may be supper.
All right, we got it. All right, so the first one is to allow honorariums for board members and committee members and to allow for an honorarium to members providing extraordinary service to the SRA. Now, the current bylaw wording does not mention anything about honorariums. The proposed bylaw wording, as you see highlighted in yellow, is that authorized payment of an honorarium to members of the board in recognition of the time and contributions to the Affairs Association, and the board may also by resolution authorize, and the rest is mileage and out-of-pocket expenses, which was in the old bylaw. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through each bylaw change, ask for any questions, and then we can move on. So that's the first item. Is there any questions about that? Yes. Okay, the question is there a limit to the honorarium? Okay, the honorarium is set by the board. Yes, sorry, that was the question. Right? Maybe repeat your question, please.
To the amount of the honorarium, and would it be calculated as a years of service amount, or is it just left arbitrarily to the board?
Well, we fixed at a level that was below kind of any opportunity for having to apply it for any opportunity to apply it for any income tax issues. So it was below a certain level, but it is set by the board, and it was set a certain level for people on the board, and then also a little less level for those that are working on committees. So there was two honorariums.
The amounts, what are they?
Oh, there's 402, I think. 400 for board members and 200 for members of committees.
For the year.
1 year. For a year. Yeah, we're not getting rich.
Any other questions on that? Okay, moving forward. Hopefully I'm catching everybody's hand. Okay. The current bylaw is committees and conduct of committees. This just talks about the current bylaw just talks about committees of the board. We've making a change there to add volunteers. Okay, so that we do have committees, but once in a while, if you saw folks sitting at the front there, they're not necessarily on a committee, but they do a lot of good work for us, whether it's manning or looking after, pardon me, the table that for registration, or we have a special event or whatever, they do that and handle that. So this is just allows and recognizes that the volunteers work as well as committee members. Okay. Any questions on that item? Okay, moving forward. So the current bylaw wording just makes reference to, again, no member of a committee shall receive remuneration, but an honorarium may be paid to committee members. And as Harold mentioned, committee members get $200 for serving on a committee. And then there's a new section being recommended, 11.5.8. In recognition of extraordinary volunteer services, the board may by resolution authorize payment of honorarium to members who are not serving on a board or a committee. Okay, so again, that's to recognize efforts of people that do step up and do special things for meetings like this, for example. Any questions about that? Yes, one over there. What microphone's coming, sir? And is that 200 or is that 100? Volunteers. There you go, sir. There's a microphone behind you.
I just was curious, there's a fair difference between committee members' remuneration or honorarium and board members. And other than the fact that the board members set them, is there any explanation for why that is? Do they go to a lot more meetings, in other words?
Well, I can answer that, yes. The board members in the past probably attended a monthly meeting. I think that's been changed maybe to 9 a year now. And there's also meetings online that they have that are over and above regular meetings. So certainly board members, and plus board members will be attending committee members meetings as well. So certainly the expectation is that the board members certainly work at a much higher level and spend a lot more time. So if they get 50 cents an hour, they're doing well. Okay? Well, that's yeah, the golden rule. Yeah. Well, except in this case, it's because the bylaws indicate that the board makes decisions like that, and it was felt that that was fair, that the board members' remuneration or honorarium should be double that of committee members.
My second question was just a joke.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So to clarify authority to call meetings, so that's item number 2 now. This is moving on to a different topic. So the current bylaw says the president or one of the officers shall have the authority to call such meetings. Is that on? Hopefully I'm not getting ahead of the screen. Oh, sorry? Oh. There we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah, just give me, I'll look at you, Irvin, make sure that I'm following. Okay, because I really can't see from that angle here. So the proposed bylaw wording basically says the president or in his or her absence, the vice president, which is normal protocol for most organizations, rather than one of the officers, is that a president or vice president. So if the president's not available, the duties of a vice president is normally step in place and undertake the duties of a president. So that's the change there. Any questions on that? Okay, moving forward. Number 3, to broaden the definition for affiliated agency to facilitate an increase in membership. So, is that on the screen, Irvin? Okay, perfect. So you can read what's on there. So I'm not going to bore you with that. What's been added here is that these affiliated agencies provide services or programs either provincially or regionally to the public of the province of Saskatchewan. So in other words, may serve in a regional area, they may serve of a provincial nature. And if you look at if you ever had an opportunity to look at the membership list on our website, it's substantial and it's significant. And there's some organizations you might not even recognize the names. But I mean, and this is always a challenge for the membership committee and other committees to determine, okay, are these affiliated agencies, do they get funding from the province? What role do they provide to the public of Saskatchewan? So this is just to try and help or explain what the affiliated agency means. So any questions on that?
An example.
Sorry?
Do you have an example?
Example.
Affiliated
Oh,
would be something like Polytech compared to SGI. Polytech would be more regional. SGI is a crown corporation. It's provincially.
I think Dean's looking at some of the lists of organizations. There are some that are, oh, sorry. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay, the cities, for example. Cities obviously serve the residents of the urban population. Thanks, Randy. He's on membership committee, and he's a previous president, so he knows this. So it's to allow organizations like that get a significant amount of funding. There's never been a sort of a list provided, but I mean, significant amount of funding from the province to deliver services to the public. So cities like Regina or Saskatoon or Yorkton get considerable funding from the province to do that. So it opens up the door for those type of organizations or those type of people from those organizations, retirees, to actually join Saskatchewan Retirees Association.
So that means they have access to the health and dental plan.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, so the question was, do they have access to health and dental plan? Yes. but they have to qualify as a member first, and then, yes, they would have access to the health and dental plan, right. Any other questions? Thanks, Randy, by the way. Okay, so moving on, number 4, this revision removes requirement for 2 or more board members to sign audited financial statements and replace it with president and treasurer. Certainly, the current bylaw just says 2 board members. Normal practice on nonprofit organizations is that for an audited financial statement or for an annual financial review, is that the president and treasurer sign those documents. This is not for checks. This is not for other things. This is for the audited financial statement. Okay? Any questions on that? Yes, right back there, Chris Olson.
Can we add the or their designate in the event that they're not available? The president or the treasurer specifically?
Okay, so Chris is suggesting or their designate if they're not available. Okay, all right. That's true enough. Okay, so the comment here is that if we're going to put a designate in, then just leave it the way it is. Any other comments? Oh, there's one back there. Sorry. Or you're going, okay, that direction. Okay, that direction first and then over there. Whichever, was there somebody here? No? Okay, sorry, over here.
If you want to make it into a different, another signing authority, president, vice president, treasurer. Because those are your 3 main bodies on a board.
Sorry, my name is Doris Hammett.
Okay, so your comment is change it to president or vice president, or 2 of the 3
Yeah.
categories.
2 out of the 3. That way you're not worried about if the president's not available. At least you have your vice president who usually steps in for the president on the board. If you want to do it that way, if you want to have an alternate.
That amendment can be made, so I think if we can. Okay, so what we'll do if. Oh, sorry, Irvin, go ahead.
That motion that we amend this portion of the bylaw to include, well, from the president and treasurer to say the president, vice president, or treasurer.
Is there a second?
Any 2 of the 3.
So Irvin made that motion to change this recommendation to president, vice president, or treasurer. 2 of those, 2 of the 3. Is there a seconder? Linda Tate. Okay. So that is amendment. So are people in agreement with that amendment to this particular bylaw? Okay, and I guess online we'll have to see what, certainly the room here is indicating that they agree with that amendment. Thank you, Chris. We're okay there?
Well, we won't be able to do a separate vote on that, so we can vote at the end.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so moving on. Thank you. To allow spouses of members to serve on committees of SRA and for the board to approve committee membership annually. Right now, there's no mention of spouses being able to serve. There's been requests in the past for people indicating that their spouse may have a particular talent or interest in serving on a committee. So what this recommendation is suggesting is that from the general membership, if one of the people is a member of SRA, their spouse, if there's interest, could apply to be on a committee, and this would have to be ratified by the board, and this would be subject to annual review and confirmation by the board. So just to expand the opportunity for spouses to get involved. I mean, in a way, they're almost members anyways. Certainly, I think from the GMS perspective, they're considered as part of that 6,000 total, correct? So, I mean, I guess it's really being a little more open about what we could define as membership. Yeah, question there.
Would that spouse have to have been part of government at some time? Oh, Larry Wilson, yeah.
Sorry, what's the question?
Would that spouse have to have been part of government at some time?
No, no.
And
So
the
as long
reason
as-
for that is if something happens to the member, it automatically defaults to the spouse anyway, the plan.
It could. The board would have to ratify that,
Yeah.
would have to confirm that. But I mean, in the past, there's been interest by spouses saying, we'd like to get involved in the committee, but technically it's my husband or my wife or whatever that is the SRA member. I would just like to get involved. There's a question over here.
Why does that need to be actually specified? If a member is a member, whether they're married to somebody or not? That's Karen McLaughlin.
A good question. I mean, it was never mentioned in the bylaws. Does it need to be specifically mentioned?
That's what why would it need to be specifically mentioned?
Well, because right now it says that members of committees would come from the membership, from SRA membership, okay? So, I mean, technically,
They're members.
a spouse is not a member, but, I mean, they get the benefits of, and whatever. Some spouses, sorry. Sorry?
Is a member not defined in the bylaws?
Yes, they are.
As,
Does not include a spouse.
Okay, I got my bylaws with me. I'm just going to have to take a look at what it says here. Any individual and or his or her spouse who's a retiree or a current employee and has received, is eligible to receive a pension, shall meet the criteria for membership. So an individual and or his or her spouse.
Sounds like they're a member.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess technically,
Maureen.
yeah. Any individual and or his or her spouse is a retiree or current employee. All right, well, it looks,
So
I'm
we
looking
need
at
a
Beatrice,
motion to
wherever she
strike
is.
that.
Do you think we have it covered off then? Sorry, Beatrice.
This is Chair of our Governance and Nomination.
I'm Chair of the Governance and Nominating Committee. When it says and/or spouse, that means, okay, I'm a member of the SRA. My husband is my spouse, but he's not technically a member. If I pass away, he rolls on and becomes a member of the SRA, and he is also continues eligible to continue with the health and dental plan. That's why it's worded that way, right? Yeah. So it's a little confusing, but that's the way we've interpreted.
Thanks, Beatrice. Beatrice is the chair of our Governance and Nominations Committee. So, sorry, was there a comment there? Oh, way over there. Okay.
Donald Lang. So you should also include partners, non-married. Should also include partners that aren't married, right? Because you've got long-term partners that, and if they're together.
Yeah, there's nothing in the bylaws currently about partners. It says individual and or his or her spouse. That's the current wording of the bylaws. There's nothing about other relationships. Well, I mean, common law relationships I think are considered marriage, a spouse. Partners, I don't know. I guess.
Doris Hammett. Apparently, you could do the clarification instead of saying partners and spouse. Anybody who is covered under the couple of the SRA, under the health plan and the dental plan, they would actually be considered the partner or the spouse. So as long as they're listed as a partner under the plan, therefore they would be considered a spouse or a partner. So I think if you want to do a default and say spouse or partner, either or would work as long as they're covered by the plan by the retiree.
Okay, so you're recommending we add the word partner besides spouses?
Sure, just for clarification.
Okay, do you want to make that motion then, please?
Okay. Is there a seconder?
Is there a second or a motion? Sorry. Oh, okay, there's a seconder right here? John Paul, okay. So, okay, the recommendation is we, after including spouses, do / partners. I mean, maybe we're getting a little too picky here, I don't know. but at least it's now in the bylaws. So are people in agreement with adding the word / partners? Okay, I think we've approved that one. Okay, moving on. Thank you for the good questions, by the way. Okay, this is to clarify the process when the board appoints a board member to complete the term for a board vacancy. Currently, there's under Section 8, there's a whole bunch of information about board members, but if they don't serve the full term, then you can ask for people to put out a call for people to come to the board. We had to do that last year. So there's some partial term appointed directors and so on. So basically, the proposed wording is that the board will determine how partial term appointed directors will comply with the above bylaw. It's also removing reference to the 2016 board. You shouldn't be dating a bylaw by having dates like 2016 board, so that needs to be removed. And then the next item is, in completing a 3-year term created by the vacancy on the board of directors, the appointed individual shall, upon completion of previous term, be eligible for nomination of new director. So it's trying to clarify, if you come on halfway in a term, what happens. Okay, so hopefully this is clear to folks that, and the board will determine, okay, where are you at in your term, and if you need to, you've done the second or third year of a 3-year term, and then you can qualify for nomination as a director again. Okay, is that clear? Thank you, because it seemed complicated, but all right. So with that, we had one motion where we had a couple of changes, but with that, I think we'll. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
With the both partner thing and membership thing, both if they're not a member, though, they cannot vote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
But they get all the other privileges. Okay, so we need a motion to approve these bylaw changes with the 2 amendments that came forward. One way at the back there. Okay, thank you. And is there a second there? John Powell. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. Thank you, folks, and thanks for the good questions. I mean, bylaws are never fun, but we need them. So,
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Doris, have you ever thought of volunteering for the Governance and Nomination Committee for SRA? Well, we'd love to have you, for sure. All right. Thanks, everyone. Moving on, I'd now like to move on to the board and committee reports. And in the interest of time this morning, I'll be limiting questions, if need be, to about 5 minutes per committee report. And if there's follow-up questions, the chairs are here, so people can ask questions after the session. Or for those online, if not all the questions are addressed, we will follow up with questions after the event. So I guess maybe slide 10, Erwin, would be the committee reports, and then we're moving to my point would be slide 11, I think. Not numbered, probably. Okay, I refer you to page 2, actually, of the annual report of the SRA. And as mentioned before, I'm Harold Hugg. I'm president of the Saskatchewan Retirees Association. And it's really a pleasure to be here today on behalf of the board of directors. And thank you for being here. And more importantly, thank you guys for your continued support, for your engagement and confidence in the work that SRA does and the work that we do together. As you know, SRA is governed by a dedicated volunteer board of directors and is supported by 6 active committed committees. And together they guide the work of the association and help deliver value to our members and to the province and to people across the province. Our board is a hands-on. It's involved in many aspects of our work, from memberships and webinars to governance to planning and engagement with partners and stakeholders. At this time, I'd like to introduce the SRA Board of Directors. And when I call your name, could I get you to please stand and wave? We got Bill Thompson, who we met earlier. We've got Chris Olson, who's over here in the back. Thanks, Chris. We got John Mowbray. He's back over there, I think, somewhere. There's John. We've got Beatrice Ringlinger, who you saw here a minute ago. Ed Plum, who's wandering around with the microphone, Erwin Blank, who's here in the front, Dean Parker, I think he's right here, Dean, and we've got Brian McKay, who's back there. There's Brian, and Kyle Chow. Kyle's here, and Don Monahan. Thank you, Don. All right, let's show our appreciation for your board of directors. This past year has really been a strong, momental year for SRA. We proudly celebrated our 50th anniversary while also continuing to strengthen our foundation and expand the value we provide our members. A key achievement was the completion of our new 3-year strategic plan. This was developed with Praxis Consulting and builds on the organizational review that gives us a clear roadmap to guide SRA towards changes in our environment in the future. As part of our 50th anniversary, we launched the SRA Legacy Scholarship Program, an important new initiative supporting members of their families. Scholarships were established at each of the universities of Regina, the University of Saskatchewan, and Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Also connecting with members also remained a priority, and we participated in the spotlights on seniors in Saskatoon, as well as sponsoring a luncheon up there last year. And we had a members' luncheon hosted in Regina in October last year with over 200 members that attended. These opportunities to engage directly are valuable in strengthening our community. We also recognized our members through a holiday draw awarding 15 $50 gift cards as a token of our appreciation at the end of last year, just in time for Christmas. This year, we welcome 5 new board members: Erwin Blank, Edward Plum, Kyle Chow, Donald Monahan, and Dean Parker. And they bring valued experience and broaden the representation from across the province of Saskatchewan. We introduced a new travel savings program, Trip Merchant, which has already seen a number of people sign up and take advantage of the opportunities there. Of interest, they had a contest of their tire system, and they represent the tourism program for a number of retirees associations across Canada. And they had a promotional contest to win a trip to Vietnam and Cambodia across their system, and it was won by an SRA member, Joan Gordley. Congratulations, Joan. That was great that she won that trip to Vietnam and Cambodia. So that was good. We also renewed our 5-year agreement with GMS, enhancing flexibility in our health and dental plans and expanding travel insurance options beginning in 2026, and you'll hear more about that later in the program. And looking ahead, member engagement will remain a priority. In early 26, we contracted with Insightrix to conduct a comprehensive member survey that will help guide our future direction. And you'll see a presentation on that later this morning as well. I also recently met with the chairs of the British Columbia Retirees Association, along with some of their board members and staff, to talk about comparisons between the two organizations. There was at that time kind of strong interest in collaborating with retiree organizations across Canada to explore collective opportunities as our population grows. One key takeaway from these meetings was their centralized approach to membership and operations, and as a result, our board has established a committee to review best practices in membership enrollment, database management, and ways to reduce workload on volunteers. The committee will report back to the board with recommendations in the coming months. Overall, this has been a year where we honored our legacy while building for the future. On behalf of the board, I want to thank you, our members, for your continued trust, support, and engagement, and we look forward to another great year ahead. And I can take any questions. Or not. All right, well, thanks very much. Well, I'm going to turn this over now to the various committees, and each committee chair will go over a committee report, and each one of those will be followed by questions. I guess the slide would be Membership Committee, Erwin. And I turn that over to Edward. Where is Ed? Ed?
Can you hear me back there? Really? Speakers aren't on back there for some reason. Anyhow, we'll continue on. I don't want to hold up the process here, so I'll keep my membership committee report to a minimum here, hopefully. First of all, I'd just like to acknowledge all the members of the committee. Myself, Harold as co-chairs, Brian McKay, Randy Dove, Penny Hendrickson and Lyle Fluter for their work that they do all year. It's been greatly appreciated, answering calls and talking to the members of why joining SRA and not. I think last year we had over 1,100 phone calls or emails to answer of people needing questions answered, so that's quite a bit. Our growth, we had 251 new members last year, so we kind of about 8% growth again last year, which is great because the more we grow, the more power we have to try and keep the rates lowest as we can. The membership, we increased the use of online sign-ups, and everything should be here on the annual report on page 4 if you want to follow along through there. I'm just hitting the highlights of it. Like Harold said, we had our 50th anniversary last year, so we had some scholarships, and that to recognize SRA. Data management, we keep trying to keep our database up to date, and that's one thing I guess I'd like to point out is if you change email, change address, change a phone number, please send us an email stating that so we can update our database. And also if you hit the unsubscribe button on some of our emails because you're getting too many, we cannot send you the information because once it's unsubscribed, we can't resubscribe you unless you come to us. So please be careful of how you do that. If you want the information from us, you gotta, unfortunately, email seems to be the way of the future, and that's how we're going to do it without mail out information as much as possible. And I guess just on that point, our email address is skretiriesinfo@gmail.com or our phone number 306-584-5552 and leave a message. It just defaults to a message, and then whoever's answering the phone, one of the membership committee will get back to you. Is there any questions? That's about the highlights of last year.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Erwin. All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Next, I'd like to introduce Erwin Blank, he's co-chair of the Group Benefits Committee, to present their report. I'll sit for Erwin if you want to stay.
Thank you, Harold. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's great to see this kind of engagement with an annual general meeting. I see Bernadette in the audience here, and we just had a parish annual general meeting. I can tell you, we would pray for this kind of attendance at anything close to that. So this is fantastic. Thank you for this engagement. So I'm Erwin Blank. I've been on the committee now, the Group Benefits Committee, for 2 years, and on the board for 1. And I can tell you, in those 2 years, I've really gained an admiration for the kind of expertise and commitment of the individuals who have put their name forward in the past to be on this committee and continue to do it every time we meet. There's a wealth of experience that they have. And the individuals that are on our committee right now that I'd like to acknowledge are Ann Donovan, May Smith, Beatrice Rainier, Randy Dove, and Harold Hugg, my co-chair on the committee. So thank you for everything you do for our committee. We will also be having a presentation coming up right away from GMS, and our 2 colleagues from GMS who are really champions for our organization, and they've attended every committee meeting that we have, are with us today. Ryan is going to be doing the presentation, Ryan McFarland, and Belvinder Gill is also with us today. She's the acting CEO of GMS right now, and she, again, has attended every one of our committee meetings. She has just stepped up to the acting CEO role, but that gives you a sense of the importance that GMS places in our account, and we really do appreciate that. Now, in terms of a real quick update, because I know Ryan's going to be touching on a lot of this stuff, and you don't need to hear it too many times in a row. But as Harold has mentioned, the last year has been a busy one for us. We entered into a new 5-year agreement with GMS, and it was fitting with our strategic directions. We want, as one of our strategies, we want to make sure that our members can rely on our health and dental plan as something that will be there for them, not just for the next week or the next month or the next year, but for years to come. And with this new agreement, we have that stability and predictability now. We've also included some new reporting requirements for GMS with us and standardized some work standards that we expect, and they've been very good about this. They were doing this informally before, but now it's been formalized into the contract. So that will assist us going forward as well. And you'll hear this a few times, and you've heard it already from Ed and Harold. One thing that we built into the contract now is an obligation for us as an organization, and that's to increase our membership with new members to the tune of about 7% new membership growth each year based on a 3-year average going forward. And we're doing that because our plan, one of the benefits of it is the rate you pay for whatever level of service you get is the same regardless of your age. Whether you're 60 or 80, you pay the same rate for the same level of benefits. The only reason we can maintain that is if we have without greatly accelerating our premiums over time, is if we have a regular influx of new members coming in all the time. And the actuaries at GMS told us if you can stay at that 7% level or above, your average age in the plan should remain about the same, and the premium levels should not be accelerating because your age is going up. And as we all know, sadly, as age goes up for individuals, their use of the plan and the need for benefits goes up with it. So we'd hate to see the premiums rising to such a rate that no one can afford it here going forward. So we will be working hard to get that new membership in. And some of the changes to the bylaw you saw are one of our responses to try to do that. We have some enhanced plan offerings that came in place on July 1st of last year, some additional ones for extended travel that came in place in January of this year. Again, Ryan will provide you some more details on that. Similarly, last year we were planning to move forward to a new portal with GMS. As it turned out, we met with GMS before that came in place, and there were some issues with the portal last year, and we all agreed it was best to take another cycle, if you will, another year, and make sure that that portal was glitch-free and would provide an experience to the users that wouldn't be disappointing to them. So we are now going forward this year with the introduction of that new portal, and GMS is going to be doing that. You'll hear more from Ryan on that, and we also have a webinar coming up on June 9th that will provide some additional details on that whole transition too. Our board also authorized us to do a health and dental plan comparison study. Now, we've been doing this on a regular basis with GMS's help, but we thought it was important just for the overall kind of accountability of the organization to do a completely independent study, comparing our plan to all the other available plans in Saskatchewan, and even casting a wider net to see how our plan premiums compare and how our benefits compare to other plans, and to get some ideas of what some other plans might be doing that we may want to consider drawing into our plan, whether it's increased flexibility or different levels of benefits that we're not considering right now. So that is in process now. We've hired a firm, a Saskatchewan firm, out of Saskatoon to do that work for us. It's Uyghur Financial, and they're in the mid-process of preparing their report. They will be providing that report to our board by the end of June. So looking ahead to 2026, I think Ryan will speak to you about some of the items that we're doing forward with coming forward with the new web portal. But we're looking to stabilize things going forward with the new portal. We want to manage that transition so that it's a smooth experience for everyone, and then make sure that any issues that come up through the course of the year are addressed promptly. Outside of that, I've already talked about membership growth, so I think with that, what I'm going to do now is turn the floor over to Ryan, and just as an introduction, Ryan, please come up and join us. Ryan has brings a wealth of experience to his role. He has over 12 years of experience managing IT teams and insurance teams, and he came on board representing us as one of his main clients 1 year ago. And I can tell you from being on for a couple of years, it was a real step up. The previous person did well, but when Ryan came on, it was a real step up in terms of the level of service that he provided. He responds on nights and weekends when calls come in. He definitely is a person who goes the extra mile for us. So please join me in welcoming Ryan.
Okay, looks like the slide deck is up. Thank you very much, Erwin, for those kind words. I really appreciate that. So good morning, everyone. We at GMS are proud to continue our partnership with SRA and have been working over the last several months to bring you your 2026-27 health and benefits plan. I will warn you, I have quite a bit of information to share today. I'll try to move through it and give a little bit of time for questions. I will say that if there are any questions specific to your current plan or a specific claim, we did bring a couple of special guests today in the back corner who can answer those types of questions, and we'll try to keep this presentation focused on your plan performance and what you can expect in the with the renewal and the online portal. So we can flip to the agenda. All right, so I'll also maybe start off by saying I'm going to try to fit this into about 20 minutes. It might extend into about a half hour, but we'll I'll do my best to move through. Okay, so we can move to the plan performance. One more slide. Okay. So I'll get right into the information here. So your participation growth in the plan has increased year over year by 2.43%, which is lower than last year's 3.55% growth. As participation in the dental program is optional, that growth is slightly less than that of health. There we saw a growth of 1.5%. And if you look at the chart on the right, you'll see the average member age, and it is continuing to go up. So Erwin had talked about just moments ago about working hard to get the membership growth up to that 6 or 7%, which simply helps keep your overall rates down year over year. And we've also had a couple of meetings between us, to kind of join forces and work on that overall strategic direction. Okay, next. All right, so a key component of your health benefits plan is drug claims, and we're calling that out here as it does make up about 50% of your overall health claims. Very typical across our overall book of business, so no surprise there. I will point out that these numbers capture your claims experience within your base plan. So these are claims below that $1,700 maximum. Claims above the base maximum that apply to the new drug add-ons, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, have been removed from this claims experience here for the purpose of simply determining the core health rate adjustment at this year's renewal. The drug add-ons are rated separately, and like I said, I'll speak to those a little bit later. Just for your information, the additional drug options implemented back in July of last year have actually had a positive impact on your overall experience. So just FYI there. So we have had, I guess, approximately 5,500 members. So that's members plus their dependents who have had some kind of drug claim this year. This is a 4.1% increase over previous year, and 7.5% of your membership has reached the $1,700 maximum. As mentioned, we do have the drug add-ons that allow you to extend beyond that if you need it. But however, we do feel that the robust base plan is good for most of the membership because it is sufficient for about 92% of you. Most, if not all, of the remaining drugs you see on the graph there are for chronic conditions or conditions that will continue over time, and the vast majority of these drug indications are consistent with the average age of your plan. As a quick reminder, one of the ways that we continue to manage the costs of drugs is our step therapy program, and this is where we categorize drugs into levels. So we look at level 1 drugs that are less expensive first, and then you move on to level 2 and 3 drugs such as Ozempic as a prime example there, but it is one way that we help manage these drug costs. All right, next slide. All right, moving on to some of the other healthcare aspects. So across the top, you're looking at a year-over-year change in claims across each category as a percentage. So when you look at drugs, the health practitioners, and vision, that makes up approximately 3/4 of your overall total health claims. That each saw a higher utilization that has increased at a faster rate than the growth of the plan. So drugs was a little over 7%, 6% for practitioners, and about 10% for vision. The other claims has decreased by 14.2% and now makes up about 10% of your total claims. So this is mainly a result of the implementation of the Government of Saskatchewan's coverage for all FGMs and CGMs. And this became effective April 1st of last year. So in the past 12 months, our data shows a 64% drop in submitted claims for FGMs and CGMs, and this has been factored into our overall pricing. Those are, sorry? Yeah, glucose monitors for diabetes, yep. And just to be clear, the other category that I'm talking about here includes things like those diabetic supplies, ambulance, hospital, hearing aids, oxygen supplies, those types of things. But yes, that's we did see a drop in those this year. The claims experience on the health benefits has seen an overall increase then of 4.3% in claims since last year. And the average claim amount per retiree has increased by just 0.8%. Okay. And now the final slice of health claims that I'll touch on is health practitioners. And what you see on the left is a historical claims utilization chart, which is simply displaying the total number of claims year over year. The paramedical practitioners account for about 15% of your overall health claims. And we have the top 3 health practitioners on the right-hand side. So you have the massage therapist at 36.7%, the physiotherapist 23.5%, and chiropractor at 22.1%. So with consideration given to all of the above, including claims experience, enrollment changes, the actual group trends with pharmaceuticals, practitioners, vision, and travel, the single, couple, and family rates will increase by only 0.98% at this year's renewal. This is a significant decrease from last year's 5.16 increase. Managing these increases is multifaceted, so we've seen improvement in the most recent 2 years of claims experience that is helping with rate stability. But we must continue to factor in trend, inflation, and the aging demographics. So things that, there's a lot of things that we watch for year over year. But like I said, the last couple of years has seen some solid rate stability. Okay, so next we'll move on to travel. So this plan currently pools all travel claims from first dollar, which simply means the health plan is protected from any catastrophic travel claims that directly affect the health rates. So looking at the chart, we see travel claims have increased by 84% since last year. And given the size of the group, there is an impact on the overall travel block of business, which is reflected in the proposed travel adjustment. As mentioned, so travel is a volatile benefit, and therefore client-specific travel claims are not fully credible to this plan directly for rating purposes, but does contribute to our overall travel block of business. As a side note, the travel add-on days that were introduced for a portion of this year did not contribute to the high travel claims that we saw in the current year. It's important to recognize that part of your health rates includes a portion for travel. The travel portion of the health rate has increased from 9% to 12% year over year. However, you won't see this charge as it is incorporated into your health premiums, where we saw the approximate 1% to your rates. So while travel claims impact the rates through our overall travel pool performance, it really had minimal direct impact to your health adjustment. Okay, we'll move on to dental. So dental claims, dental claim counts increased by 3.2%, whereas the total dollar amount of claims increased by 9.2%, which is indicating to us that a single dental claim is costlier than the year prior. So the average claim amount per retiree increased by 7.6%. It was 4.2% last year. And the dental fee guide has also increased by 2.14% in 2026 compared to 2025. On the right-hand side, we're looking at the most claimed procedures in 25-26, and those were scaling, restorations, crowns, x-rays, exams, and polishing at, I'll say 26, 18, 11, 8, 8, and 6% of total dental claims respectively. A note on acute claims for those one-time procedures that made up about 21% of your total dental claims is exactly the same as it was last year at 21%. And this means that the majority of the claims in the most recent period are for maintenance procedures and routine checkups, cleanings, and likely things that will appear again in the next renewal year. The overall impact then to dental rates as a result of the above analysis is the current single, couple, and family dental rates will increase by 6.6% at this year's renewal, which is also down from 7.83% last year. Okay, so that is the review of your past performance of the past renewal year. I'm now going to talk a little bit more about your SRA plan options and a little bit more about the experience and what you can expect in the coming month or so. So this chart here is really just an overview of the changes that we implemented last year in terms of drug and dental maximums that we're giving you the options to increase, and also the additional travel add-on days that we piloted starting in January and will be available to you at this year's renewal. So that all said, I just wanted to say that, you know, this is really just the beginning of what we feel as a starting point for adding value to your plan, keeping your base plan costs controlled, but also offering flexibility to your membership at the same time. Okay, also, I guess in the first 8 months of claims experience, all add-on options have outperformed the break-even requirement. So after an assessment of the performance of these add-ons, it has been decided that not enough claims experience has been generated in order to apply any adjustments to those add-ons. So by this time next year, we'll have those additional months of claims experience, and will allow us to a more credible analysis of these add-on benefits. Okay, the member renewal rates. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the right, just making sure I was on the right page. Okay, so these rates are found within your annual report. They're also found within the renewal letter, and I can certainly share this deck afterwards. I do have a number of these rate charts for reference, and it just breaks out the information in a little different way so that it's a little easier to understand and consume. With that said, what we're looking at here is the combined health and dental renewal adjustment, which is 2.28% this year, which again is lower than last year's adjustment of 5.62. And the chart itself, you're really just looking on the left-hand side, you'll see it's broken out by health and dental, health only, and dental only, and then you'll have the monthly premium amounts listed there with the annualized totals as well. Okay, so we can go forward. So what I'm showing here is the drug add-on options. So this is moving from the base 1,700 max to your two options being the $2,500 max or the $3,500 max. Just as a note, dependents under the couple and family coverages will also receive the higher maximum if the add-on option is chosen by the plan member, just to make sure that's clear. And the add-on benefits did not change in price for the 2026 renewal. The monthly and annual premium changes shown below are simply the amounts that it would cost to switch from the core benefits plan to choosing one of these two benefits. So whether you're single, couple, or family, and then you'll have the monthly premium dollar charges there. Okay, and then the next slide shows the dental option that's now available. So if you want to move from the $1,200 base amount to the $2,000 option, that option also includes orthodontics. And again, we have the monthly premium amounts here and the annualized amounts for your reference. Okay, and then we'll jump ahead. So there's a lot going on this this chart here. This is really just the combined pricing. I'm not going to walk through this, but it's really just a way for you to visualize the different options and what that will do in terms of changing the amount of your monthly premiums. And so really it's simply the left-hand side is your health with the drug maximums. It's grouped by a single, couple, family, and then you're really just drawing a line between the drug option you choose and the dental option you choose. And then those are the final amounts that you would be paying on a monthly basis. Yes. So we'll. I'll make sure that we share this deck in particular, but the rates are all in the renewal letters themselves. They're also in the on the website as well. Yep. Yep.
They're on the SRA website as well.
Yep. Okay. So travel add-on. Okay. All right, so because this is relatively new, we did pilot this back in January, but I did want to talk briefly about the add-on travel days, just to make sure people were comfortable with how this works. So I will start maybe down at the bottom, so the maximums and aggregations. So the overall maximum coverage for this is $5 million per person per lifetime, and this is inclusive of your built-in base travel of the 60 days and the optional add-on travel days. The total maximum trip length, so the way this works is it's always per trip, and so you have 60 days built into your existing plan, and then you can choose to add 15, 30, or 90 days in addition to that, and again that's per trip. From an eligibility standpoint, the member and applicable dependents must have enrolled for health benefits to take advantage of this. You have to complete a medical questionnaire, and you get final GMS approval to round that one off. The effective date and termination, I guess I talked about this already, but it is per trip. These additional days that you choose will be added on to the 60 days per trip that you have already. And from an enrollment and purchase rules perspective, partial participation for this is not permitted, so all insured persons must be eligible underneath that member. The premium is added to your annual or monthly payments as they come out today. Also a note on that medical questionnaire, it must be completed at each yearly renewal. And this is a benefit that doesn't automatically renew, and so you would have to choose this at each renewal. So that's the highlights of how the travel days work. And then on the next chart, I've simply created a simple table to give you the travel add-on rates. So it's broken out by the 15, 30, and 90 days for single, couple, family. And then the monthly premium amounts are there that would be added to your existing payments. And the annualized totals are there as well. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the renewal. I don't know how I'm doing for time, to be honest, but I'll. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna move through this fairly quickly. The one thing I will say about the renewal is we do have a lot of supports set up for you, and so while I'm gonna just touch on things briefly here, we certainly have a lot of things coming up here in terms of a website, a dedicated website for all SRA members, where you'll be able to get some training and be able to it'll walk you through from start to finish. So you'll be able to go from your existing portal to the new portal with ease. At least that is the intent. And we also have a webinar, as mentioned, on June 9th, where we'll be taking a little bit more of a deep dive into this. And so I expect you'll probably have a number of questions, but we'll give you an opportunity to not only kind of get a sense of what the portal looks like ahead of the webinar, but we'll give you that training, and then you'll be able to bring your questions to the webinar. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly go through a couple of reminders, and then we can wrap this up. We are focused on a digital first path forward, so we are encouraging everyone to sign up for the portal using email. However, we will not leave anyone behind, and we will continue to send out renewal letters and communications via post mail as well. I'm not going to get into this too much just because of the time here, but we are making a change to direct deposit. We are going to be sending out a specific communication to those that have claim payments that are not currently going to a single bank account. We just have a limitation within our new platform. And so we're going to be moving to a single account there. Again, specifics will be coming out in a future communication. One other change is one claim at a time. So what we're saying here is, or what happens today is you can bulk submit claims, but what we're trying to move to is more of a ability to give you real-time information back on each claim that you submit. And so this really positions us to do that. And in the future, we also want to move towards a more automated system where we can take each individual claim and process it with automation versus individuals in the back end. So this is just enabling us to provide service a little bit faster to you and get your claim payment back to you that much quicker. No claims history from prior years, fairly self-explanatory, but we won't be able to move your claims history from the old system into the new. One of the big features coming up is benefits remaining, so you'll be able to see that in the new system. We won't be able to have multi-year benefits tracking, but that is something that we are looking at. The main point there is you will be able to see a lot of your benefits remaining, which is a feature that I think a lot of membership has been asking for some time now. Your travel claim information can be found on the Robin Assist travel portal. And the last point there is simply to say that you won't see any disruption in coverage as we move you from the old portal into the new. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this slide, but there is a lot of new and improved things that are coming with the MyGMS portal. We will touch on these absolutely in the webinar coming up on June 9th. So we'll just flip to the next slide. This is the landing page that I already mentioned. The URL is here, but again, this is going to walk you through all the different aspects of the new portal, from how to activate your account to how to submit a claim and a whole bunch more. So there is a communication going out specifically for this. And so I won't get into this right now, but more information is to come on that. But it should set us up for success for a smooth transition from the old portal to the new. Okay, so the last bit here, and then I'll get off the stage. So your renewal process, the renewal letters went out last Friday. There is a few folks that we need to mail the renewal letters to. So those went out this week. You may not have received them yet, but they are certainly on their way. Your renewal payment, if you do pay monthly, no action required. Your pay will renew automatically, or your plan. If you do pay annually, continue to call us, and we'll work through your renewal. Looking at options. So again, if you're happy with your coverage, no changes needed. You can just renew your plan as is. If you are interested in the drug, dental, and/or travel additional coverage, please call us before July 30th. That's 30 days after your renewal date to make your selections. And really, payments and changes must be received by July 30th. Okay, I'm almost done, I promise. All right. July 1st, I just want to have you watch for 2 emails. There will be a welcome email that will confirm your renewal and the details around the portal. You'll also get an activation email with a link for easy access into the GMS portal, and you'll be able to get yourselves set up. And I just had one ask. It's really just to make your lives easier, but we're encouraging folks to submit your existing claims before you transition to the new portal. And the reason for that is any claims with service dates before July 1 will need to be submitted in the old portal. Any claims with service dates after July 1 will have to go into the new portal. So just to make this as simple as possible, if you do have any of these existing claims prior to July 1, I would make an effort to get those into the old system, and then you can forget about the old system and move on into the new one, and you don't have to go back and forth. So it's really just to try to keep things as simple as we can make it. Okay. And the last slide there is simply, if you do need help, we have a dedicated 1-855 number for you. You can call that number. You can even call it now, but between a month before and a month after your renewal, you can call in specifically to that number to get dedicated service from folks that are very, very familiar with SRA to renew your plan, to make changes, and to explore those health and dental options. July 1st to July 30th, you can certainly get help logging into the new portal. We will step you through that. July 1st, just the last comment here, we do have some special hours. It is your renewal day, but it's also a stat. So we do have some people available to take calls from 10 to 4 that day. And of course, we do have our general number that you can call anytime. Okay, appreciate that. And again, thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you very much, Ryan. You covered a lot of information here in a short period of time. So, folks, just as a reminder, we'll have multiple iterations of this here over the next number of weeks, whether it's through mailouts or through the webinar that's coming up. So you'll get a few chances to ask questions. But we do want to take a couple of minutes if there are some questions for Jim. Oh, go ahead.
No, just to be. Got some questions online? Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we have a question online, so we'll let Dean read it out and see if I got to pull Ryan back up here, or Paul.
Hello, yes. So there are a couple of questions here. One is a big bouquet to, I should mention, to the call center. GMS has been excellent, so thank you very much. First question, the SHA is currently moving from what is termed a biologic medicine to a biosimilar. The biosimilars are significantly less expensive for SHA to provide. Does this constitute a change of medicine to GMS? The message from SHA is that no, they're the same, just one is natural and one isn't.
So I think I'm going to pull up Ryan for this one. I'm not even going to attempt it. I know you have a new STEP program that you bring in where you start with the lowest price drugs that provide the requirement and then only move up to more expensive ones if the lower priced ones are not doing the job or if the doctor specifically orders a higher level one. Would that be the case in this situation too?
This is a change. Does this constitute a change? Correct. Biosimilar and biologic.
I think what they're saying there, to me, is if it's a change in your medication. So that triggers that 90-day period. But they're
for
saying,
travel?
no, this is actually the same, it's just different, right?
Okay, so this is that waiting period for travel? You
Yeah.
have to be stable for 90 days before traveling?
I
with
think
this
that's
change
what
in
it's saying.
medication? Well, that's one where I know GMS has said to us before, you would call into the GMS office and explain the situation before you travel to make sure that you're on safe ground for this. And they would evaluate it and give a response at that time. So it'd be case specific, I think, depending on the medications and the changes. So okay.
Okay, the next one was, has the committee ever considered increasing the age at which the change in medicine requires 6 months stability from 75 to possibly 80, or possibly consider exempting small changes in certain common medicines associated to older individuals, such as blood pressure?
We've discussed this at meetings in the past as well, and we're always in a balancing act in terms of changes, because every change comes with the actuary sitting there and saying, yes, you can, and here's the fee. And so that's the balancing act that we do with these things. Any of these changes are potential, but they all come with a cost. So if the group all said, we're willing to pay 20% more if we have that change, and that's the cost, then we say, okay, we have support to make that change. Something that's significant, we would likely take in front of this group to say, okay, here's something that's been proposed. This is what the cost would be. As a group, do we support moving forward with that kind of a substantial change to the program? Smaller changes, we can kind of handle on a year-to-year basis. Val, please.
Sorry, thank you. I'd just also add that we don't have an upper age limit for the SRA plan on travel. So that is why we do also kind of accommodate for that and offset it with the stability period.
Yeah, very good point. I'm going to repeat that in case someone didn't hear it, and that is our plan is a very positive one, that we don't have an upper age limit on the travel side of things. So what we've done is that at 75 years of age, your stability period goes from 90 days to twice that. But you continue to be eligible for travel coverage even well into your 80s if you've been stable in terms of medications and medical conditions for that 180-day period before that travel. Okay, Terrell's telling me we are out of time here, so I know there's questions here. Okay.
Just something to consider. I just wonder, with now the new nurse practitioners having independent practices, is that going to increase for under the practitioners that you can attend? Like some of them are charging $180, $200 per visit, and with less people having primary care providers as a physician, the trend from the government is go to the nurse practitioner. So are we going to meet this?
Right. Yeah, and we haven't adjusted our limits, I think, at this point to reflect those changes in practices and rates. And again, it is something that if we're finding we're bumping up against a wall on that going forward, and we're getting concerns expressed by our membership on a regular basis, it's something we'll need to revisit with GMS and say, what will it take to be able to increase rates in this area or that area, because what's being limited out at is just not covering it. So. Okay. There are a number of other questions, and including any from the floor that we didn't have time to address. If you could, we'll have a list of these questions. We'll follow up after the meeting with the individuals and likely post it on the website so people know the question and response. And for any other questions in the audience, perhaps it looks like Ed's given us another one here, but beyond that, we'll have to stop.
We'll deal with it after. You guys will stay around for lunch. We're sadly running out of
Okay, I got the rug pulled. So I'm sorry.
yes.
I've got it. Thank you, everyone.
So you can just ask them.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Val, and thanks, Ryan, for your participation, and thanks for the presentation. Thanks, you guys. Sorry, we're really running short on time. We had a lot on the agenda, and we still got a lot to go through. So, and we got lunch. We got to delay that till 12:15. But we've got a presentation coming up now from Insitrix. So this was the membership survey I talked about earlier. So he's going to run through a fairly quick presentation on the survey results. And again, thank you all for those who participated in that survey. It really does help us kind of understand where we need to go and how we better serve your needs. So it might take a couple of seconds to get that up and running. Is he logged in? He's not there? Okay. Bill, I'm going to use my computer and send him an email. And meanwhile, I'll go through the... All right, well, maybe while we're waiting for that, we'll go through the rest of the committee reports. We had to break, we were going to break on those just so we could do this presentation from Insitrix. So maybe what we'll do is go back to committee presentations, and I would ask if Pension and Issues Committee could come up and present their report.
Thank you, Harold. First, I'd just like to thank the other members of our committee for their contributions over the past year. They are Ken Lazinski, Donald Monahan, Bill Thompson, May Smith, and Harold Hugg. Our committee, the Pensions and Issues Committee, is a long-standing SRA committee that focuses on sort of research and advocacy related to pensions and other issues affecting SRA members. The committee leads SRA's efforts to build on a positive working relationship with Planera, which is the nonprofit corporation that administers public employee pension plans. Our work with Planera helps us to keep our members informed about their pensions and to establish the SRA as a stakeholder representing retiree interests there. We meet quarterly with Planera officials to share information and identify opportunities to collaborate on areas of mutual interest. In the past year, Planera has contributed to the SRA newsletter and has partnered with us to present an SRA webinar. SRA also met in September with Planera's CEO and other senior staff, as well as a member of the PEP board. We shared information, had some valuable discussion, I think from our perspective, notably about their review of PEP's board composition. On that issue, SRA believes that PEP's important and growing retiree membership should be reflected on their board. Retiree membership in PEP has been growing since the variable pension benefit option was introduced, and that was in 2006. But the last time the composition of their board was reviewed was in 2003. So retirees remain underrepresented there. So SRA has been asking for retiree representation on the PEP board since 2021 when we first wrote to the minister about it. Last year we presented the case for representation to consultants that were hired by PEP to review the board composition. PEP has responded positively, and they've committed to hold further consultations with us, so we are expecting change, but it's going to take time. Changing the board's composition requires also changing the Public Employees Pension Plan Act, which is a process in itself. Our connection with SSM, SRA's connection with SSM is another important relationship that we have. The Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism is an umbrella organization that partners with member organizations to work in the interests of seniors in Saskatchewan. We were a founding member of SSM, and they continue to be our main partner on a variety of issues that affect older adults. This past year, members of our committee participated in SSM's member organization consultation, member engagement session on strengthening senior services in Saskatchewan, and on a social prescribing meeting to map community resources in Regina. Our committee also led a new SRA effort to identify and connect with other public sector retiree organizations in Western Canada, well, in Canada, but starting with Western Canada. The objective of this initiative is to share knowledge and best practices with a view to improving member services and the effectiveness of our organizations. The initial contacts with associations in BC and Manitoba have been positive. As Harold mentioned earlier, discussions with the British Columbia Government Retirers Association have proven beneficial, particularly beneficial. Finally, in the past year, our committees also looked into the Canadian longitudinal study on aging, and we continued to follow the wide-ranging and important work of the National Institute on Aging and the advocacy of the Canadian Association of Retired Persons. So thank you for listening. That's about all I have to say on it. If there's any questions.
All right. Thanks, John. All right. Thanks. All right, what we're going to do at the very end of this is we'll do the motion for all of these committees at the same time rather than individually. Bill, turn this over to now for Growth and Communications to do their report. And I've introduced Bill Thompson, who's chair of the Growth and Communications Committee. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Harold. I'd like to start by thanking the other committees for their support in all our activities, and thanking our committee members. Board members Dean Parker, Beatrice Rainier, SRA President Harold Hugg, and especially acknowledge Beatrice. This is her last term on our committee. We're going to miss all your work, all your fine tuning of our communications. So thanks again, Beatrice. So good morning, everyone, and I'd like to give you the communications report first. So effective communication remains central to SRA's success, keeping our members informed. We work closely with membership as well as other committees to make sure members receive regular communication and information updates about their activities, about our activities and services. We provide updates to membership by email, from our website, through our regular spring and fall newsletters, through webinars, information sessions, and from the annual report you have today. And if anyone didn't get an annual report, there'll be another box coming at lunchtime, so we'll have that. So feedback from the 2026 member survey confirmed that email remains the primary source of information for most members on SRA. So we're mindful to keep our emails short and brief and to a minimum. So we try to keep them to 2 a month. They get lumped up a little bit into spring and fall, so you get a few more. But we averaged about 22 emails last year. So hopefully that's not too burdensome for you. Our website remains an important resource for members to find news updates, forums, webinar recordings, and published rates on our health and dental plans, as well as archived documents. Some of the highlights from the communication side last year, we refreshed the logo. So we have a new logo that features a bordered wheat sheaf with a founding date that reflects our long history. Trip Merchant, as previously mentioned, is a new travel partner that offers members the option to receive travel news from their newsletter and exclusive travel opportunities. And a special 50th anniversary newsletter, in addition to our regular publications, was put out last year by former SRA President Randy Dove. So thanks again, Randy, for that. Looking ahead in communication, we're going to continue to refine and improve the SRA website, explore social media and additional communication channels, and work to ensure the information we provide remains accessible, relevant, and useful to members. So next, the growth report. SRA's growth rate over the past 20 years has enabled us to provide health and dental benefits, advocacy, information to improve the lives of Saskatchewan public sector retirees. New membership growth and awareness of the SRA is driven by pre-retirement seminars from public employers, word of mouth, by accessing our website to review our health and dental services. We have over 80 eligible organizations, including ministries, crowns, boards, agencies, and commissions that will have retiring employees that can join the SRA. We can offer these employees health and dental plans to replace coverage when they are employed, monitor their pension plans, and a source of information on seniors' issues. In 2025, growth remained a high priority, with 251 new members added, representing about a 7% growth. We reached out to many organizations to ensure their employees would have the information they need about joining the SRA. We also offered a special referral program as part of our 50th anniversary. Looking forward, the SRA will need to enhance existing channels and messaging efforts to identify and develop new approaches to attract new members. We'll investigate how to utilize digital trends to optimize our website, use social media, and online placement. We have a new 3-year marketing strategy. There's a framework to guide our actions and efforts. This will help us achieve the attainable growth, or a sustainable ongoing growth. This year we have a focus on increased awareness. We've got a program starting in the fall. So this will increase the awareness of SRA from the public sector employees about to retire. So we'll have the ability to attract these members. Longer term, we're going to use research, member surveys, contacts within our organizations, and continued awareness programs to strengthen our value proposition and enhance our services to meet evolving member needs. So that's what we're doing on the growth side. Any questions? Perfect.
All right, thanks, Bill. All right, thanks, Bill. Growth is really important to us. That's certainly something in our work with GMS and others, and we need to stabilize that growth and keep that growth going forward to maintain that kind of average age that keeps the rates down. So that's growth is very important and something that we need to do. All right, I'd like to now turn this over to. I'd now like to turn this over to our Governance and Nomination Committee, and Beatrice Ringler. There she is. Is that a question? Sure.
Donald Lang. Okay, you talk about the growth. What are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing to get the 7% growth? Like, wanting it, now how do you actually make it happen?
I'll let our Chair of Growth and Communications speak that.
Oh, there goes that chair. Do you want to break the other wrist? Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, we've got a number of initiatives. We've got a marketing strategy document now that has a number of action items we're going to address. One thing we're doing in the fall, we've actually engaged an advertising campaign, advertising agency to start a campaign with social media that is going to basically address SRA or public sector employees as they're approaching retirement. So we're going to be kind of getting in their eyes on the medias that they're looking at. So that's one program we're looking at doing. We're making communications into the member organizations like the Crown corporations, all the commissions and the agencies, sending them letters and making sure our package is with them on when they have their retirement seminars, when their employees are about to retire. So getting our awareness out there. It costs money to do advertising, so we don't have a huge budget for those kind of things. So we are working on all kinds of different ideas on how to do it. But it's a number one thing that we need to do to keep our rates competitive. Okay.
Right, Beatrice, go ahead. Welcome, Beatrice.
Okay. So I'll just start with telling you I have served as the chair of the Governance and Nomination Committee for the past 2 years. Members of the committee include Harold Hugg, John Mowbray, Kyle Chow, and Ken Ozinski. You've met them all already, and the only one that you haven't met is Pat Dean. Can you stand up, Pat? So thanks to the committee for putting in the hard work to get things done. Okay, I just wanted to say the mandate for the Governance and Nominations Committee is to oversee governance structure to align with the strategic direction, the mission, mandate, objectives, and goals of the SRA. This committee leads the review of bylaws, policy and procedures, and the Director's Handbook to reflect current needs of the SRA. This year, the Governance and Nominations Committee completed the Director's Handbook, which is now approved by the Board, and it includes current SRA bylaws and policies, committee mandates, position profiles, and various forms for administrative use. It serves as a reference manual for board members and committee volunteers. This committee is also responsible for ensuring there are enough directors for a functioning SRA board. The bylaws allow for appointments to the board to complete the term of vacated board positions. This summer, we put out a call for people interested in serving on the board, and from this, we were fortunate to have 3 directors. Can anybody hear me right? Okay. We were fortunate to have 3 directors appointed to the board to complete the terms for vacated board positions. They are Kyle Chow, Dean Parker, and Don Monahan. All are now contributing to the SRA by serving on various committees. Since then, one of our longer-term board members resigned 1 year prior to completing his term, so the board has recently appointed Jim Engel to serve for a single year, starting in June 2026 and ending at the AGM in May. Jim, I think you're here. Can you stand up? Okay, that's Jim. Thank you very much. Thanks for stepping up, Jim. This year, as you know, Ken presented recommendations for changes to the bylaw. And the bylaws are structured such that each year there are elections for 4 SRA board positions to serve a 3-year term, and elections will be held later on during this meeting. We'll provide more information about the candidates later on. And lastly, we welcome volunteers for various committees, and I encourage more women to apply. There's not too many women serving on the board. It's me, and I'm leaving, but we do have some women serving as committee members. So I encourage more women to step up. Don't be afraid of these guys.
I'm afraid of her.
So that's it for my report.
All right, I'd next like to call on Chris Olson to come up and give us the financial report. And there's a couple of motions we need to move forward on finance as well, so we'll do that as well. We're having some technical issues with the presentation we were going to get from Citrix. We'll see if we can get that going. We may be running out of time, or what we may do is just post that up on the website and have the opportunity to for people to ask questions around that online. But we'll see if we can sort out the issue. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Harold. I won't keep you away from your lunch. This will be brief. The financial report is on page 15 of the annual report, and the association had a strong financial year. We continue to use Connexus Credit Union as our financial supplier. Our investment strategy did not change throughout the year, and we've maintained reserves for shutdown or continuing operations in the event of no income. We had some increased costs due to the 50th anniversary initiative, but they were covered within budget. Our membership continues to grow, and the increases in the premium have maintained our revenues. Our auditor has provided us good information and support throughout the year. And as the committee chair, I'd like to thank the members George Meredith, Cindy McDonald, Lyle Fluter, and Harold Hugg. He's everywhere. Any questions? Perfect. Again.
All right, I'd just like to then, because thanks, Chris. Just don't go away, though. So we've presented all the committee reports now. So what I'd like is a motion from the floor to accept the committee reports. That's Ken? All right, a seconder? Erwin Blank, all right. All those in favor? All right. That'll be carried, I assume? Yes. All right, I guess I'll turn it back over to Chris on the auditor, on the financial statement.
Okay. The financial statement starts on page 17 of the annual report. And you'll see on that page, the auditor has provided us with a clean report. The page 20 reflects our revenues of $243,000, expenses of $213,000, and any other details in there that you might want to bore yourself with, have at it. I would like a motion to approve the auditor's report. What's that? Seconder? Ann Donovan, thank you, Ann.
All those in favor? All right, that's passed.
Passed?
Yeah,
Okay, the board is recommending that the reappointment of RDS Chartered Professional Accountants for the 26 fiscal year. I would ask for a motion to appoint those auditors. Linda Tate, thank you, Linda.
Seconder?
Thank you.
Your name?
I'll get her name.
All right, all those
Okay.
in favor?
Thank you.
That's approved. All right, thanks, Chris.
Maureen McKillican.
I'm going to reintroduce, I guess we're still having some issues, technical issues with Incentrix. So I'm going to reintroduce Beatrice Ringler, Chair of our Governance and Nomination Committee. And Beatrice is going to do something with respect to our nominations for this year and board appointments for this year. Welcome back, Beatrice. Lunch is coming.
Okay, today we have elections for 4 board members. And the board has nominated the following 4 people as follows. 2 existing board members, Brian McKay. Brian, do you want to stand up again? Yeah, there's Brian. He serves on the membership committee, and he has completed 2 3-year terms on the SRA board, and he's seeking his 3rd and final term. Bill Thompson is right here. He's our vice president, and he's the chair of the Growth and Communications Committee. He has completed his first 3-year term and is seeking his 2nd term on the SRA board. So that's it for the 2 that are existing, and we've got 2 new people who are running. There are Garth Ormiston, who's here today. Garth, do you want to stand up? There you go. And I'll just tell you a little bit about Garth. He's formerly from SaskPower. He's been there for 39 years. He's an electrician by trade, and he's served on the SaskPower board of directors. And he along with his wife, has operated a business. Previous board experience, as I said, served on the SaskPower board of directors, and he's chaired numerous bargaining committees. So that's what we've got for Garth. And the second one is Dale Rodenbush, and he's not able to make it here today, but he's also from Regina. He's got previous board or committee experience with the Pharmaceutical Association of Saskatchewan. He's got 5 years. He's a member of the Saskatchewan College of Pharmacists, member of the Canadian Society of Hospital Pharmacists, and he's the member of the Pharmaceutical Association of Saskatchewan. So he's got a lot of community involvement in Heart and Stroke, Canadian Kidney Foundation, not-for-profits, it's Sherwood Co-op and Peebles Co-op. So that's what we've got from Dale. So we've got openings for 4 positions. I've introduced the 4. I'm going to call for nominations from the floor. What's that? Yeah, yeah. We-
I'd like to nominate Doris Hammond.
Okay.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's got-
My name is Ann Donovan.
And Doris is here?
Yep, Doris is over there. Doris, do you want to come up and say a little bit about yourself?
My name is Doris Hammett. I retired from SaskTel in 2023. In my position with SaskTel from 1999 till my date of retirement in July, I was the administrator for one of the administrators for the health and dental plan and the benefits. Basically, I dealt from A to Z: health plan, dental plan, life insurance, retirement, things like that. Also, while I was working on SaskTel, I was also the chairperson for the telecare for a number of years, and I was provincial plus the Regina. I've done some volunteers throughout the SaskTel Pioneers as well. I don't know, what else would you like to know? I have my certificate in administration. I did more of the HR plan than I did with the finance or anything like that. Any questions? Questions, comments?
Okay. Doris, will you accept the nomination?
I will accept
Okay,
the
we-
nomination.
Could you spell your last name, please?
HA, 2 M's as in Mary, E, 2 T's as in Tom.
So we've got a mover, and we need a seconder. Okay. Pat Dean.
And remember that name, because you're going to have a vote
Mhm.
for this. So, and you'll have to put that name in.
Here, put it.
Just speak up, Harold. The
Sorry.
people won't hear you.
I guess there's, that was the first call for nominations. I guess we need 2 more. Is there another call for nominations? You're nominating John Powell?
No, I'm sorry. You're asking for more members.
Yeah, no. Okay, and then a third nomination, I'm third and final. Okay, so we're going to have an election. It's going to take a little bit of time. We've got some ballots that we've prepared. And maybe while we go through that, you've got them there?
Yep.
Well, we'll have to add Doris's
Here.
name to the ballot. And then we'll have maybe somebody can circulate it around to the tables, if you want to do that. Or
Yeah,
how you
I
want
can
to
do that.
Okay.
Okay, can everybody maybe write down Doris's name at their table, just so that you can, if you want to vote for her, you can add it to this nomination paper, voting paper? So-
Okay, I'll move nomination cease.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So Doris is her first name? And how do you spell her last name, Harold? Hammett. Okay, so I'll pass these around, and Harold will continue to entertain you.
We could do the Insitrix presentation while people are voting. Would that be too much of a distraction for folks? Okay, so then maybe if you could bring them up and this is being circulated around, what you need to do is vote for up to 4 candidates. On that list, there'll be 5, I think, listed on there with the new person that we've just added, and you could vote up to 4. So that's how it'll work. It's going to be about 20 minutes. Right. Lunch is 12:15. We can't delay it any later than that. There may be some additional stuff at the end that we'll need to do that. I might do that during lunch. But apologize to the folks online, but we pretty well covered everything on the agenda we had to. This election will take a few minutes, and then maybe we'll do what we'll do is then do the Insitrix presentation on the membership survey while the vote's going on.
Okay, one thing, Harold, only members can vote, so
That's
when we're
right.
handing them out,
That's
please tell us if you're a member or spouse.
Right. So please, if you're not a member, if you're here as a guest, we're in a trust situation here. Don't vote. So only members, please vote. Thank you. So in closing today, I want to take a moment to to express our gratitude for two retiring SRA board individuals who have dedicated leadership, have helped shape the SRA into the strong membership-focused organization we are today. The first is Chris. Chris joined the SRA board of directors in 2018. Actually, it was as a result of Chris. He was looking at joining the SRA, and he actually convinced me to join the SRA. So I joined the SRA. So you're putting up with me because of Chris. Anyway, and Chris quickly became an active member of the Finance Committee. In 2020, he assumed the role of Vice President Finance, a position that evolved into our treasurer. Chris brought a thoughtful and innovative approach to financial management. One of the most significant accomplishments was the modernization of the association's financial administration and transitioning from paper-based systems to full electronic record keeping. These changes significantly improved efficiency, security, and record management for SRA. In addition to his financial stewardship, Chris has served as administrator of our SYNC electronic filing system, helping ensure that board members, committee members have reliable, organized access to key documents. Chris also made an important contributions beyond finance. He chaired the SRA 50th Anniversary Committee last year, helping to commemorate this important milestone in our history. And he managed the association's Legacy Scholarship Program, supporting students, strengthening connections with future generations. His dedication, his technical expertise, his commitment to improving SRA operations have left a lasting legacy, and we're deeply grateful for his 8 years of outstanding service. Thank you, Chris, for all your participation. Second leaving us is Beatrice Ringler. You saw her just a moment ago. She joined SRA board in 2023 to complete the term of another director and subsequently was elected in 2024 to a 3-year term. During her time on the board, Beatrice has served as member of both the Growth and Communications Committee. She served on the Group Benefits Committee. She also took on the role of chair of the newly created Governance and Nominating Committee, where for 2 years she's played a pivotal role in strengthening the association's governance framework. And I have to say that Beatrice has done an absolutely fabulous job on the governance role. That was a new committee. There was a lot of policies and things that we hadn't looked at for a number of years, and Beatrice managed to get us through a whole lot of that. She's also been correcting minutes, and she's just a tremendous asset to the organization, and we're really going to miss her. Beatrice's leadership on the committee, she overtook a comprehensive review of all of our policies, our position descriptions, and the important work really accumulated in the development of a director's handbook. And that's an essential resource that provides orientation and guidance to directors and committee members. Beatrice also contributed significantly to the interpretation of SRA's bylaws and the preparation of bylaw amendments when needed, and helping ensure the association's governance practices remain current, clear, and effective. It's with her careful attention to detail, governance expertise, and her commitment to organizational excellence has made a substantial and enduring contribution to SRA. Thank you, Beatrice, for all your help and work. So I think I want to check if there's any more questions or any comments that people have before we kind of move to the election results. I think we're kind of working on that. Erwin.
I just had one comment, and that is for Beatrice. We're missing her already as
I know.
people can tell we misspelled her name.
Oh, no.
I would usually catch that. So.
That's on me. That's on me.
I'm not sure it's going to work twice. I just wanted to say, on behalf of all of us, we're already missing Beatrice and certainly Chris. They've both done great work for us. But in Beatrice's case, she was the one who would always catch these small typos and other things. And it's somewhat ironic that we misspelled her name in this slide. But we're missing you already, Beatrice.
Okay, we're still working on the election results, so bear with us. I just want to, though, in closing, just thank everyone for coming today. I kind of apologize for some of the glitches we had with some of our technical connections, and we'll kind of sort that out for next time for sure. It's too bad we didn't get the presentation from Insightrix. I think you guys would have found that quite interesting, so I would encourage everyone to have a look at that online. To have a look at what you guys all had to say about the organization and things we could be doing different and better and how we can better serve you. As we wrap today's meeting, I want to acknowledge the SRA as a strong and positive position as we continue to build for the future. And I want to thank the board for their ongoing commitment and support throughout the year. I'd like to extend appreciation to the team at Bravo Tango, who were involved in putting together the annual report and a lot of the work that we do with growth in communications. I want to thank Terry Scott from VoiceWorks Canada, Webcast Canada actually, who was managing the online portion for us today. And I want to acknowledge also the ProAv folks for their technical support today as well. So for those attending the lunch will be served shortly. We'll be announcing the election results here. And with that, I would maybe hold off, but I'll move a motion to adjourn once we have the election results. But thanks everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a lot to try to get done in 2 hours, and did what we could. Thanks very much for coming.
Okay, everybody, we've got some results. We had to count them. We had to count them. Oh, sorry.
For 1 sec.
We've got the voting results. We had to count them twice because it was quite close. So that's what took us a little extra. So drum roll, please. We've got Bill, Brian, Garth, and Doris. Congratulations. So I ask for permission to destroy the ballots.
All those in favor?
Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Beatrice.
Here you go.
All right, thanks everyone. I really appreciate that. That was interesting. We actually did some ballots for today's meeting. We weren't sure we'd have an election, but we did have one, which was always kind of interesting when something like that happens. And that's good for democracy. It's good for the organization as well. So appreciate everybody's participation in that. I would now like to bring the meeting to a close, and I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Or I'd ask for nominated for a motion to adjourn. Sir, your name? I'm sorry, you got lunch, I know. Al? Elson? All right. All those in favor? All right, thanks very much. And again, thanks everyone for coming. Enjoy your lunch and have a safe trip home, everybody. Thanks for coming.